Hello boys and girls, it's Mr. Vade. Today, I want you to learn what a unit rate is, and I want you to learn how to use it and understand its importance. You know, on Friday, you were asking questions in class and you were trying to find the answers to them. Some of you asked how much paper does their school use per year. Others asked how much paper does their school photocopy per month. Some of you wanted to find out how many skids our school uses per year. Some of you wanted to find out how many papers are photocopied per hour. You know, these questions cannot be answered unless you find the unit rate first. So please understand that when we are working to find answers to problems, we have to be able to find what's called the unit rate. And I was surprised that most of you did not try to find this value first. Although, strangely enough, you all started trying to find it without even knowing it. But in the future now, what I want you to be able to do is understand that you have to find this value first before you solve and try to find out how much paper our school uses per year, or how much we photocopy per month, or how many skids we use per year, or even how much we photocopy per hour. What we have to know before answering these questions is the unit rate. So you're probably wondering, what is a unit rate? Well, it's a quantity, okay? It's a ratio. First of all, a rate is a ratio, and I'm going to write this word so that you know it, because I'm going to be using this word in class. It's a ratio, okay? Which is comparison. So it's a comparison. So here's what we know about a unit rate so far. It's a ratio, and it's a comparison. Now, a comparison of what? A ratio of what? It's of two quantities, okay? So here's what we know so far about unit rates. They are comparisons, they are ratios of two quantities, or they are ratios that compare two quantities. The unit rate is always expressed with the quantity Q over 1. Let me explain what this means. It's not that complicated, okay? In this case, our unit rate is the quantity of paper used per 1 day. In order to find out how much paper our school uses per year, we need to know the unit rate. The unit rate would be 6,250 pieces of paper per day. In this case, the unit, which is expressed as 1, is 1 day. If you want to know how much paper our school photocopies per month, you better know the unit rate, and that's we photocopy 6,250 pieces of paper in a day. If you want to know how many skids our school uses per year, you still need to know that we photocopy 6,250 pieces of paper per day. The reason it's called unit is because we're expressing a quantity over 1 day. A unit is always singular. Think about other unit rates that you know. There are other ones that you know. I'm trying to erase a little bit of this here so that I can free up some space for some more writing. But there are other unit rates you know. I'll start saying them before I write them. Have you heard of dollars per hour, as in how much money somebody makes when you start working as maybe a store clerk in the mall or at a restaurant? You might make $10 per hour. This is a unit rate because we're expressing a quantity, $10, and we're comparing it with how often. We're comparing it with hours, but we're describing its relationship. The relationship is this: for every 1 hour you work, you make $10. Or you make $10 for every 1 hour you work. Again, the phrase unit is used because it's 1 unit per hour. Per hour. In this case, somebody might make $10 per hour. This is a ratio. It compares two quantities and describes a relationship. The relationship is that for every hour of work, $10 is made. Finally, before we end this lesson, there's one more unit of rate that we're all familiar with. And if you ride in a car, you are familiar with this because you see signs posted on our roads and you know how fast your car is traveling. But MPH, does that mean something to you? This is a unit rate. It's a unit rate because it's a ratio. It's a ratio that describes the relationship of how many miles are driven per hour. Some of you look at this as a speed limit. You might see on a highway 55 miles per hour. You might say somebody's traveling 55 miles per hour. Miles is a quantity. It's more than one, but it's measured per 1 unit. It's measured per 1 hour, making this a unit rate. So yes, it's miles. It's plural, miles, but it's measured over 1 unit, 1 hour. 6,250 pieces of paper per day, D-A-Y, singular, is a ratio that measures how many pieces of paper, 6,250, are photocopied per 1 unit day. So in order to answer these questions, or a question like how much paper does our school use per year, you have to determine the unit rate, the amount of something over 1 day, 1 hour, 1 something. So on Tuesday when we're working and you're trying to answer the questions, always try to find the unit rate, the amount of something over 1. Thanks. Bye.